Hello, good morning or afternoon. Good afternoon. It's actually already 12:30 and welcome. And today I'm going to be walking to the plage, and this is the beach, which is not too far from the campsite. It's going to take about 10 minutes to get there. I've got to walk up this little hill here first, and once we're up there, there's going to be a gate, and we've got to go through that gate, and from there it's just straight up or straight down to the beach. So I'm just about to reach the gate. In order to get through the gate, there is a button you have to push, and coming the other way, if you want to get into the camping site, you have to, there is a code to come in. So here we are. I push this button here and it opened it up. Okay, now go through, and it's go through, and up on the other side you have to push the gate. Okay, so again here we walk through this little, there are trees everywhere, so let's walk there, and I'm going to show you the way a little bit. So this is now about 2-minute walk down there. Since I'm in France, I would like to know your take on it. Do you think it's important or just helpful, nice to know different languages, or especially the language of the country you're traveling to? So my take on it is knowing a little bit of a language is very helpful, can help. If you are kind of fluent in it, or if you're able to speak it a little bit, then you can interact with the locals as well. On the other hand, I've seen or I saw that I do speak a little bit of English, and you can get by with English nearly anywhere you go. But obviously the more languages you speak, the easier it gets talking to people. I haven't studied English at school. I lived in England for a very long time. My English was much better than it is now, due to the fact that while I moved to England, I lived there for 17 years. I left England again, and it's 17 years that I'm back in Italy. In Italy, I don't speak much English anymore, so I still read newspaper, an English newspaper every day, but I find if you don't talk the language, so if you just read it, you are not as fluent in the language. You need to speak it every day in order to keep a certain level of fluency. At least this is what I think. I do know a little bit of French, not much. Again, I've never talked much. French. So when I've studied it, it was just studying and books. Or in actual fact, it was apps I used, and what I find with those apps, or the way they were back, what is now 2 or 3 years ago, I've stopped using those apps, because I don't like learning languages through translating. I would like to learn a language just by using the language. This is how I've learned English. I used a method, it's called Callan method. There's a school up in London that I think they invented that method because the school is called Callum School of English. By the way, I'm not gonna get paid to say that. And yes, we were introduced just by speaking English. We were introduced to English by just talking English all the time. So even if you didn't know anything in English, they would just talk in English to you. And you didn't have to go home and study verbs or grammar and these kind of things. You learned it while speaking, while talking. Now I've seen some apps, they started to introduce some kind of or they were using a similar method, but still it was always translating as well. And I prefer not having to translate in my head. If I want to say something, it should come out just by thinking in that language. So now we have come to the little area, like you can see already behind me. This little area, there are lots of restaurants, there are some restaurants here. And so I'm just gonna show you. And a little shop, and further up is even an ice cream shop. And once the restaurant, this area stops, that's where you head up to the beach then. So it's not too far a walk from the camping site, but it's well, like I said earlier on, it's about a 10-minute walk. So here the restaurants and the shops finish. These are the last ones. Here the one behind me and the one over there. And if I turn it now up, this is where it goes to the beach. This stretch of the beach, there are red flags up here, and it actually says you shouldn't go swim, but at the end, if you go into the water here, you're gonna do so at your own risk. Whilst about 200 yards further up, or not 200 yards, 200 meters further up, there's a little stretch where you have some kind of, or what do you call it now, lifeguards. You have some lifeguards further up there, and should something happen, they might go in and get you out of there if you get into any troubles. So behind me, or down there on the other side, we have the ocean, and I'm sure I'm going to be jumping in there sooner or later. Further ahead, I'm just going to show you those red, yellow flags down there. This is where the lifeguards are. And that's the stretch of beach. If you want to play it safe, that's where you go in. Now, I usually don't mind going in as long as the current's not too strong, or if there's a strong current, then I don't like it very much. But because of the other two people I've got with me, they just want to stay there where the lifeguards are, so that's where we're gonna go. And I hope you liked this beach, and maybe one day you might decide to come here as well. I've got to keep an eye out now for where my people have put up the umbrella, because yes, they have an umbrella as well. It's quite hot here, so it's nice to have an umbrella. And yes, so I've got to go and find them now. We've had a nice day at the beach. Stayed here all day, went back, had a shower, had something to eat, and now I'm out here again to see if I can catch a nice sunset. So the sun's setting over there. Oops, sun's setting over there. And let's see if I can get a nice time lapse.